Let's go over to KwaZulu-Natal now. The province is still struggling with water supply issues since the deadly floods there, and corruption is exacerbating the problem. As we speak, former eThekwini Mayor Zandile Gumede is in the dock for dodgy water tenders. In fact, experts are warning of dire consequences in the next 5 or so years unless urgent action is taken. Let's find out what the situation is on the ground. Our reporter Dasen Thathiah joins us live right now. Dasen, good evening. Welcome to Today. How is eThekwini coping with the delivery of water to residents at the moment?
Well, eThekwini, like other cities in the country, is also experiencing its own problems. And this was exacerbated, as you rightfully said, by the floods last year. So that really caused a massive knock to the infrastructure that exists within the city. During the last conversation that we had with the Water and Sanitation Unit in eThekwini, they were saying that they have about 12,000 kilometers of main water line that they have to service. And as a result of that, you have a number of faults that are picked up. So to be fair, there were repairs that were done on some of that infrastructure after the floods. But despite that, you know that there were ongoing issues that resulted in legal action that was taken against the municipality. There were charges that were laid. Opposition parties really, had come out guns blazing for the municipality, saying that they were taking too long in dealing with some of these issues. But just to paint a picture of how the water system exists here in the municipality, eThekwini municipality buys its water from the water board, which is now the Umgeni Utukela water board, which was formerly Umgeni Water, and then distributes that water to its paying customers. So you're looking at unfortunately, about half of that water actually being lost. And this was a problem that was also raised by the Water and Sanitation Minister, who was saying that this continues to be an issue in the city. And the reason for those water losses largely is because of the maintenance of the infrastructure. The city has identified that problem. It realizes that there is an issue regarding its maintenance, and its budget was then doubled to deal with some of these issues. But even that doesn't seem to be enough. I had a conversation earlier with a former board member from the now defunct Umgeni Water, Visvan Reddy. He's also a councillor in the eThekwini municipality. And he shared some of his insights with me as to why he thinks this problem exists. Let's listen into part of that interview around what is going on in the eThekwini municipality.
The democratic government municipality has inherited a system that was not designed to cater for the large numbers of consumers that you have today currently. So what this municipality should have done was budgeted for preparing its infrastructure to accommodate the new connections into the system, which it failed to do. So lack of maintenance, I agree, is a serious problem, and that's one of the reasons why many of your pipes are bursting, and that's the reason why you have water outages affecting large numbers of communities throughout eThekwini. The other biggest problem is water losses. We call this non-revenue water. The municipality buys bulk water from Umgeni, right? The defunct former Umgeni buys its water from Umgeni. Do you know that over 50% of that water is lost in the ground?
What does it cost the city and ratepayers?
It's close to R1 billion a year. And ratepayers, our water users, are paying for water that's being lost. The reason for water losses is three things. One, it's aging infrastructure because of the leaks. Two, it's meters that are not working, not recording water usage effectively. And the other is theft of water. Water is being stolen, and the municipality is not taking this very seriously. So those are the three reasons, and there is no serious attempt by the municipality to deal with this. This is one of the reasons why the cost of water has increased exponentially over the past few years because of the water losses.
And we have seen those costs going up, have we not, Dasen? I mean, what are some of the problems hindering this process? What have you found?
That certainly does seem to be an issue. And yes, while we can talk about finances and we can talk about budgets, but that doesn't necessarily seem to be the only problem. It's also an issue around the will to make this work and to ensure that the system itself is secure. One of the examples that really had painted was around how well protected the main reservoir is in Durban, the Durban Waterworks. But yet, if you go to various other points in the system, you don't find a similar level of protection. And that then opens the door to other things happening which could impact the water situation. You know, I must also say at this point that quite late in the day, the eThekwini municipality did come back to us and say that they would be willing to respond to some of these questions that we had. Hopefully, we will be able to have that conversation during the course of this week. Maybe an explanation then into exactly what more they will be doing to protect the system. I know that the last time we had a conversation with that unit, they did say that they were in the midst of certain upgrades, but that is obviously not a short-term solution. This is a more extended project that is meant to benefit ratepayers and the city in the long term. But one of the other issues that has arisen, and this is the view of Viswan Reddy when I was talking to him earlier, was that he was saying that leadership is particularly important, and any kind of political interference also does impact the entire process. Let's listen to what he had to say on that point.
They pay the price. Unfortunately, the victims of unstable water boards, unstable institutions like this, is that the end user, which is the citizens of this country, they pay the price. They have, I mean, you take water boards. Water boards are state-owned entities, like your SAAs and your Eskom. When Eskom fails, the lights go out. When SAA fails, you don't have aeroplanes to fly. But when the boards fail, then it poses a potential risk where people can die out of this. Now, we've seen over the years that instability and political interference in water boards is causing endless problems. There's management constantly changes, and ministers that are appointed, unfortunately, do not have the necessary skills or expertise to be able to manage these boards effectively. Now, what they do is they want to go and interfere in the day-to-day affairs.
Dasen, thank you so much for your time this evening. That was eNCA senior reporter Dasen Thathiah.